Here's a question. If one of us was replaced with like a doppelganger or AI or some shit, how would we know? Like, what would the question be?
Ooh,
or
that's
like
a good one.
Like something like, "What's your opinion on the boy from Braid?" Like that's a pretty good question to ask.
Pretty good one. I like that one.
We all know how would we reply to that.
Braid is an indie video game.
Oh my god!
I know.
Jonathan Blow is a genius. Imposter.
They're gone. They're gone.
It has to be Who Did You Marry in Stardew Valley. That would be like a really good one.
Yeah,
yes.
That's good. I mean, these are all things we've discussed on a very public podcast.
Yeah, that's
funny.
a bad. But like, I don't know. I feel like we need to go down routes of like where there's a secret answer that we actually know. You know, like
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll discuss this at a later date.
Yeah, but I say I know what the answer is, and I'm not going to say it on the podcast.
This is important though. This is the thing that friends need to start setting up: is little arrangements we can have with each other to know when we're talking to an AI.
Oh my god! When I was younger, I used to do this. Thing where I'd put a single Skittle in my mouth and shake my head around. Have I told you this? So the Skittle would rattle around inside my mouth.
I wouldn't know if you'd said this before.
And I used to do it with multiple Skittles, and I pretend my teeth had fallen out.
What?
And I used to love it. I would do it all the time.
All right. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness.
You should try it next time. It feels
I feel like I will now, which is the worst part.
Just put one in your mouth. Just wiggle your head around.
I'm not actually. That's not a good idea right now.
It will bounce around. It's kind of fun. It's like a rattle.
Like a little pinball machine in your mouth. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There you go. There's your intro.
Anyway. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Indieventure, the indie gaming podcast that once again does not have a script. So this is exciting for me, just making it all up off the top of my head. My name is Rebecca Jones, and I'm joined as ever by my lovely friends and co-host Liam Richardson.
Hello.
And Rachel Watts.
Hi.
And yeah, I'm really not joking about there not being a script this week. We are all a little bit fried. I know we say that a lot, but like genuinely, like I've been quite unwell. Liam's been to some sort of like absurd bakery themed rave. Rachel's just been working real hard. It's been a hell of a week for everybody. So
yeah.
Once again, our unmatched goblin energy is going to enter a new phase in this episode, I think. But at some point, we are going to talk about the latest Steam Next Fest. That's our main sort of like topic of conversation for today. It's going to be quite high level, just going over some demos we've played and like, that's relaxed enough, isn't it? We can handle that. We can handle that in our current state.
We
surely.
Just about.
Just about. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried, I'm not going to lie. But no, I think we've got this.
We shall.
I think we've got this. Look, we're
9:30
together.
PM.
We're together and that's what matters.
That's
so good. It's all okay. We're with friends. It's all fine. But yeah, just before we get into Next Fest stuff though, we wanted to chat a little bit about, I think for the first time ever, since recording the last episode, we actually all got together and played a game. I don't think we've ever all played a game together before. So we did. That was good fun.
That was good fun. I realised the other day, actually, Rebecca, that the last time I played a game with you, it was Babylon's Fall.
Was it Babylon's Fall or was it Multiversus? Because Multiversus I feel is slightly less cursed, but I can't remember which one came first.
Oh shit! It was both delisted games. I'm
Multiversus
sorry, Lethal Company.
Apparently,
but based on apparently.
Yeah.
We played Lethal Company. We played the indie game of the moment, and bloody hell, that's a good video game, isn't it?
We enjoyed it a lot. We certainly had a lot of fun. Do we just recount the highlights? Because I just had such a good evening when we got together and played Lethal Company. Beginning with Liam not knowing it was a horror game, that was pretty special.
Well, yes. I mean, for some context, Lethal Company is an indie multiplayer horror game where you and your friends play employees for an an unknown company, a lethal company, some might say, kill me, where you've got to land on these randomly generated planets and find scrap to meet a quota, and also there's horrible monsters that hunt you down. But the absolute joy of the game is that it has local proximity chat. So you don't play via Discord, you play it within the game itself. And when your friends move away from you, their voices realistically taper off. They echo in metallic hall rooms, and you might just hear their disembodied screams from another room. And if they stop responding to you, you don't know where they are. You don't know if they've died. And the hilarious thing is, if you do die, you can observe your friends and listen to their conversations. And I don't think I've laughed as hard as I did during that session as I have in months. It was so good.
Yes. Oh, it's almost a joy to die early in a few rounds, because then it's like a horror film starring your friends playing out in front of your eyes. It's very good.
It really is.
And it's like got that little bit of jank as well. Which like the character models are so funny.
The little run.
Where they dance.
How they run around. Oh my god.
Yes, definitely.
Very good game.
So, really wanted to just mention that, because as someone who desperately avoids online multiplayer unless I can play with friends, which almost never lines up because we're all in our 30s. It's very hard to get everyone together on the same evening. Yeah, Lethal Company, I would totally recommend it to anyone looking for a sort of like Phasmo, but a bit less complex. I'd say it's it's early access, right? But it's a simple gameplay loop where you're just kind of like going to a planet, trying to pick up enough scrap to survive, getting battered by monsters mostly. It's more about I think if you were playing it seriously, it would be quite frustrating, but just playing it as a hangout with friends is great fun.
Yes.
Yeah. I would recommend installing the we played with two of our old colleagues and current friends, Ed and Hayden, and Hayden recommended that we install the Skinwalker mod. Which records bits of your audio and plays them back as the monster. And there was my favorite point of the whole night was Rachel found some joke teeth.
Oh yeah.
And you were running around going, "These are my teeth." And then you died, and we knew you'd died because we watched you die. And then just at the corner of this dark room, all I hear is in your voice. And I was like, scary. Nah, absolutely not.
Just nope out.
So funny.
Nope. I think the scariest moment for me had to be, I think I was the last one alive other than Hayden, who was sort of like piloting the ship. Running through the fog with this bit of scrap in my hands trying to get back onto the ship, and hearing Liam cough behind me, even though Liam had already died. I was just like, because you were a bit poorly and you were coughing, and it just picked up you coughing a lot, and then just sort of like this monster in my ear with my friend's voice just coughing at me. I was like, oh Jesus! And then I fell into a river and died. So
that sounds about right. Yeah. Oh, was that when you and Ed were still alive? And it was like you were trying to find your way.
Fogworld. There was a river between me and the ship. That was not happening. But Ed and I, we are diligent people. We are doing our best to take the game seriously and to get back to the ship with some scrap. It did not happen. Ed died. I died. It wasn't.
Yes, the
successful.
death is funny. So good.
I love that game.
It's great.
I can't wait. We need to play that again sometime. It was so good.
It was so good. So yeah, little shout out to Lethal Company. Just like a delight to get to play something with you guys, because I feel like
it's
for various reasons, partly personal preference and partly just, as I say, scheduling difficulties, we don't tend to cover a lot of multiplayer games on this show. So nice to shout one out when we find one that we all really like. Just
yeah, just try and make it a regular thing. It was nice to catch up.
Yeah, we need to do it again.
Yeah,
we
do
funny.
For sure. Yeah, let's get it in the calendar. And yeah, More Company, the mod that lets you play when you have more than 3 friends.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
It's very good. Would very much recommend playing with a larger group. It's very, very good.
Oh yeah, such a good time. Anyway though, loads and loads of demos to talk about. Shall we get into some Next Fest business?
Yay!
So Steam Next Fest, it runs every February, June, and October, I think. So it's 3 times a year.
Is it?
Yeah. And it's just Steam giving a bit of visibility, a bit of a platform to loads and loads of indie game demos. So obviously, it's a really nice way for us to get an episode every 4 months that we don't have to worry too much about the theme for. But also, it's genuinely cool. You do get to take a look at some games that you've maybe heard of but not seen much about, or some games that are brand new. We've been digging into it over the last few days since we got we still get our press access, which is lovely.
Mm.
And yeah, we found some cool games that we want to share and you guys. So
hell yeah!
Who wants to go first? Anyone?
Choose someone.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Well, what was the game that you were both into? Who wanted to take that? Because I feel.
Oh, should we start off with that one?
We should start with the one where there's overlap. I feel that I'm excited to hear about it.
Okay. Well, so when did they announce? So it's a Devolver Digital game. When did they announce it, Liam? Literally,
they announced it at 4:30 today.
Yeah.
What?
Devolver Digital announced. Yeah. So the game is Children of the Sun. They announced it at 4:30 today. It's currently 9:30. So yeah, of course, we played the demo because it looked so good from the press email. It looked really interesting, and it's Devolver. So yeah, we'll play anything that's Devolver Digital because they pick up some very strange, wonderful games, and this one definitely is very strange. It's this kind of action, strategy, puzzler, shooter, all the fucking genres. But it's kind of like you play as this young woman who is out to seek, it's a vengeance story. She's out to seek revenge on a group of cultists who have essentially ruined her life. And each level is kind of, this is so weird to describe. You're on a pivot, so you can go left and right on a pivot. You have a rifle, a sniper, and you can essentially, there's a group of enemies in this space, and the idea is you're shooting at them, but with one bullet. And so in a kind of like super hot kind of way, you fire this bullet, which then hits someone, and then you can control the direction of the bullet in slow motion as it hits another enemy, and then it hits another enemy and another enemy, and you kind of have this chain of bodies and blood and violence that you create. Like, this bullet is essentially blessed, and so the puzzle element of it is that you're kind of like trying to work out the most efficient way of hitting all these targets in one shot. And it's batshit, and it's so cool. The art style is super grungy. Like the girl looks so cool. She has this mask on. She's got like this matted hair. Like, it's just it's Devolver, so it's super stylish, super punky. When you complete a level, like the words "dead, dead, dead" appear in like massive like letters on the screen. Like, when you fire the bullet, the camera kind of follows the bullet's projectile. So like, you're like zooming through the air, like it's supersonic speed. It honestly, like, this game is dripping with style and like energy, and it's super gory. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's Devolver. It's very Devolver, and it's really good. The demo is great. What about you, Liam? What have you got to say about?
I mean, I had like 6 games that I was gonna like that were fighting for like one of the spots that I wanted to talk about today, and this literally kicked all of them off, and I only played it this afternoon and didn't even know it existed when I woke up this morning. It's got bad vibes, but in a very compelling way. It reminds me a little bit of, like, aesthetically a bit like The Crow. It's sort of like real grungy and real minging, for a better word. It's fundamentally a puzzle game, and it's a game about spatial awareness. You can. I sort of was thinking it's got a little bit of like bit of Sniper Elite, a little bit of like Far Cry, in that you can pick out your targets and number them first. And the idea is, like you were saying, when you hit them with a bullet, it sort of pauses, and then you get to fully move around and then redirect the bullet again. And working out, well, okay, well, if I shoot this guy who's having a piss because it's really grungy to the side of this camp, and then I can get him in the window, and I can bounce back and get him on the chair. And it's got leaderboards, you know, it's got this idea of like runs and times, and at the end it like paints your directory. It paints your trajectory, so you can see and share that of like, well, this is the way I moved with my bullet. You get additional moves in the demo, so you can, if you hit 2 people in their weak spots, you can do a full reshoot of where the bullet's going to go next in midair. It's good. It's
It's
so
so
good.
good.
It's immediately just hooked me in. I absolutely love this game. Yeah, so it's brilliant. I'm already convinced. It's by René Rother. I don't think they've made I think they've made a lot of games that they've released on itch before, but I feel like this is maybe the biggest thing they've worked on so far. So yeah, very excited for that.
Yeah, looks aces.
It really does.
Very cool.
I love puzzle shooters. I've recently come to this conclusion that I love puzzle shooters because I'm not big on shooters. Stuff like Super Heart and that are very fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I completely agree.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it's
Super
nice
Heart
when
is
you identify a genre and then immediately someone cool announces that they're doing a game in that genre. It's always good fun.
Oh yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy to hear about this. This looks cool. Rachel, do you want to go next?
I'll do another one.
Okay, so I'm so sorry. I just forgot because Liam was. Well, see, I'm not with it. Not with it. Just the whole body is not having a good time.
Actually, maybe I shouldn't because you guys do have a lot. So one of you go.
Yeah, I'm just like.
Should I?
I feel like I'm just like offering and then retracting the offer. This is a mess.
Rachel, do you want to actually? Fuck you, Liam.
I just, you know what? Everybody's been screwed over by my lack of preparation here, so it's fair.
Oh no, come on, none of that. I'm happy to run through two very quickly.
Go for it.
I've got
Somebody
three
please
to
take
talk
the
about.
wheel for a minute.
You know, on
So
pirate ships with the wheels, like
just free. Yeah, we are banking. We are banking very hard to the starboard bow.
where's the bosun? Oberden knowledge coming in hot.
Yeah.
The second
Oh my god,
mate.
we're about to be Obra-dinned.
Oh,
Ah!
I always knew this was how it would end.
Oh,
I'm sorry, just the black screen, and you hear the board, and then you just hear your voice, Rachel, going, "You ever try putting a skittle in your mouth and rattling it around?" And then it goes dun 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 dun. And it's just...
Oh god.
Oh,
guys, I can't.
that-
This is
now you have to leave that in.
Now we're
yeah,
gonna
true.
we're gonna keep
mate.
referring back to stuff that we said and then said we won't put this in the podcast to the point where we're gonna have to put stuff in the podcast to provide.
I think
no.
the skill's gonna have to make the cut. I'm not.
Gonna have to make the
I'm not
cut.
upset about that.
What's going in? Right.
Can you remember we used to record this thing at 3 p.m? That was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was cute.
Those were the
Frankly,
days.
shocking how little the energy's changed, all things considered.
I know, right? It's
Yeah, actually, that's
absolutely
so
mad.
true.
Yeah. I am like this all the time, it's just worse at night. Sorry.
Fucking hell, you're
I'm
killing me tonight.
I'm
Rebecca.
sweating. I'm sweating. My lungs hurt.
Oh,
Oh, god damn it.
E. Oh, you just made us say E like a mam, like a northern mam. E anyway. What you like? What are we doing?
I
Talk about it,
think it's a
Indieventure.
podcast. I think it's a podcast, but I'm not even sure anymore.
Right, two games. I'm going to very quickly go over two games that I played in Next Fest that I liked.
Thank you.
Fucking up. Right, the first one is called Echo Point Nova. So this is by the same developer as a game called Severed Steel, which I absolutely loved a few years ago. This was a first-person shooter with a focus on acrobatic combat mechanics. You would be able to like do backflips in first person and slide, and you could pull guns from people's belts, and you had like a Samus Aran style blaster cannon on your arm, and you could shoot through walls, so all of the world was destructible. And you had to kill all the enemies within this zone, and you'd moved on to the next level. It was very, very good. Very underrated game. It always goes very cheap on Steam. So this is the next game by that same developer. It feels like not a spiritual successor, but definitely like an evolution, like a next step of those mechanics. It has like a focus on like really snappy shooting. Your slide is a hoverboard. So when you hold
Nice.
shift or control, you just whip out a hoverboard and start to scoot around. And it's open world. So it's all these floating islands filled with enemies, and you can move between them and like investigate beacons, which have combat arenas, and find new weapons and new abilities like a grapple hook or like perk systems and stuff. And It feels a little bit early. I'm not sure when this is set to launch. Things like a big banner came up when you started saying the UI isn't complete and stuff like that. It's so often the case. But it's a rare instance when I played a game during Next First where it felt like the core of it was rock solid in there. And I feel like this is going to be something pretty special. So if you can check out Echo Point Nova, enjoy it, and then go buy Severed Steel, because that game rules and keeps getting updated. Both brilliant games. Really excited for that. The other one I want to talk about very quickly is Oddsparks and Automation Adventure, which I had not heard of before this Next Fest. I had no awareness of this whatsoever. I have very few big brain moments when I play games these days, but I feel like Oddsparks is to Factorio what My Sims was to The Sims. It's like a very accessible factory automation game where you play as just this little person in this very nice little village, and you venture out into the local forest and you find these little almost like Pikmin-like creatures, and then you can build buildings. So like this building generates wood, so you throw two of these little Oddsparks, they're called, into this building, and then you build little paths and you throw them on the paths, and then they start to wander around and they'll pick up a bit of wood and they'll drop it off at whatever's next. And it's very guided. I played an hour, and all of the tutorials were given to you by people in the village, which is really nice. And it feels like, normally these games like Factorio and Satisfactory and Dyson Sphere Program, you sort of just dropped in and just left to your own devices. But this is very, very guided, very good at tutorializing, and also the fact that your automation is performed by little creatures that you can command and have run behind you if you want to. It just feels very accessible and almost kid-friendly, which is good. I'm very curious as to how complex it'll get. You almost think maybe there's an upper limit to the complexity based on how accessible it's trying to be. But if it's like a factory game you can finish, that might be quite nice. Because that's just not really something you can do within a human lifetime normally. That's coming to early access this year. I'm very sorry I didn't write down who wrote it. Wow, we are being full gremlin this week, aren't we? Come on. Also, who wrote it? Who wrote a game, Liam? Get a hold of yourself. Massive Mini Team. Lovely name. Well done. Very excited for that game.
It looks so
good fun.
cute.
I enjoyed it. It is.
It's
got really nice vibes.
Yeah, the art style's so nice.
I just wanted to say thank you for using a Sims analogy so that I can understand as a person who does not know factory games. It's like
I did that literally for you, mate.
The reference.
I was like, yep. You know who'll get a My Sims reference? It's only my mate Rebecca. She'll know exactly what I'm on about.
Okay, but real talk, My Sims Agents is like one of the best games ever. Don't even.
Did you like the original My Sims? Because I love the original My Sims.
I think I came to it a bit too late. It was all right, but I was more into Kingdom and Agents because they had a bit more like character beyond being sort of Sims meets Animal Crossing.
They should make an indie version of My Sims. There probably is one.
Oh,
someone let me know. Contact at indieventurepodcast.co.uk.
Yeah, it sounds like that would be quite easy to riff off. Surely.
It's already a riff is the thing. So I'm just like
a riff of a riff.
How about Go-Go Town? Is Go-Go Town a bit like that? The one that we saw at PAX last year.
Go-Go Town is so good. I played the demo. Another demo, I guess. It is so nice. That's another automated one as well. And that is really cool. Yeah, you can set your town villagers to forever be in your labor, and they just work for you. And you can make buildings and stuff, and they can work in there. It's really cute. It feels good to play as well, and you have a go-kart, and you can drift in the go-kart. So I was like drifting all over town, being a boss.
Oh man, I'll have to try that out. That sounds really good.
I know, right? Just bonus recommendations within the recommendation.
There we go. There you go.
You got 3 quickfire recommendations there.
Damn, we're flying through.
Listeners.
Oh,
yeah, we really are.
So,
so chaotic. The energy is so chaotic.
It's like when you put a Barocca in a drink, or Mentos in Coke. It's that kind of fizziness.
Yeah, it's a very, very fizzy episode, isn't it?
In my brain.
Yeah, it's kind of all right to have it for now, but I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to be like this forever, and that's scary.
Oh my god!
I hope not.
Yeah. Just like, what if
That'd
I'm
be quite
cursed
an
now?
energy.
What if I'm just a disaster now? Even more like you thought it was bad before. What if it's just?
Oh, I hope that's not the case, mate. It's easy to think that when you're not very well. Though.
I know.
Just need a little sleep. Just a little
God,
sleep.
I do.
We all need a little sleep.
We definitely do.
Sleep.
In the name of beginning my rehabilitation and getting myself to the point of where I can have a little sleep, shall I do a demo?
Yes.
Oh,
Shall I do my favourite demo?
Serve
that
it
I
up,
played
please.
Yes. You've been keeping this a secret. You've been keeping this a secret from us.
It's not really been a secret. It's just not come up yet.
You have not revealed your demos, and I
haven't. I've been very coy, actually, haven't I? To fair.
You have been very coy.
So yeah, I've managed to play a fair few demos over the past couple of days of Next Fest, and one of them just like I enjoyed them all. I enjoyed everything I played, but one of them was like a demo that I lost time to. Like I got so into it, I kind of forgot that I was meant to be playing a bunch of demos. So I was like, this is the one, right? This is the one to kind of focus on. And that is Dead Pets Unleashed by Triple Topping.
Oh yes, yes.
Are you broadly familiar?
I am familiar.
It's
hello. What's this?
So last year, if you recall, one of the few games that all three of us managed to play was Goodbye Volcano High, which was the sort of rhythm like band narrative game that was very, very emotional. And this is kind of like there's a jumping off point where this is also a band of demons, and it's like a rhythm game, and it's got like the relationships with the character very important, but it's kind of the opposite end of the seriousness scale at the same time. It's like very kind of quirky and silly and not doing anything too serious at this point. But I think the thing that I've really enjoyed about it was, so you're playing as I've spaced on the main character's name, Gordy. You're playing as a woman named Gordy, or a female demon. I don't know if she identifies as a woman. Female demon will do. Named Gordy, who is the bassist in a band called Dead Pets. And everyone in the band is sort of like in their late 20s, early 30s, and it's getting to that point where they're like, is this a thing that we want to keep doing? You know, is it just too much of a drain, or do we want to really try and be like professional musicians? It's kind of the setup for the game. But the reason that I really clicked with it was it's got several different elements to it. So there are elements when you're in Gordy's apartment, and it's kind of like a life sim thing. You can do mini games to like raise her quality of life around her apartment, and then you leave and you can go to her day job, which is at a cafe, and it's like a kind of frantic little management game where you're waiting tables at this cafe and trying to like keep all the customers happy as the sole waiter at this cafe. You can go to the studio where her band meet to practice at night and do rhythm games. Which also, all of this is also like advancing the story, like the relationships with your manager at work or with your bandmates in the studio. And then there's also like a dating app you can go on to sort of like meet, because Gordy is like dreadful. I love her so much because she is like, maybe this is why I'm identifying so much. She's like a train wreck of a human, not even a human being, train wreck of a demon being. And so she's like, in addition to all of this other stuff she's got going on, she's like, I'm gonna marry someone rich. That's how I'm gonna get myself out of this situation. So there's also like this dating app section where you go and like find rich older demons to date to try and like fund your terrible lifestyle of being this 30-year-old like ruin in a band. It's just I love games that switch up the gameplay quite a lot, but also have, you know, fun, repeatable, like learnable sections. And yeah, I really clicked with the characters on this one, and also I just thought that like it's just such a fun idea. Like the setting is quite cute, and yeah, it's a really fun game. Like I sort of reached a point where I had to put it down, and it was the only one where I was like actively very resentful that I had to put this one down. So has really like shot up my list of games that I'm really excited for this year. It had been on my radar before Next Fest, but like seeing it at Next Fest was fun, and I just like, I can't remember why I wishlisted it, but I'm glad I did because it brought it to my attention.
Yeah,
it's like I say, it's like Volcano High, but like the opposite end of the emotional spectrum, which maybe is what you need after. Like they would pair really well together if you played Volcano High first, and then were like, I need something to cheer me up because it's just quite silly. But
yeah,
yes, she's tragically relatable. She's got like an older brother who is very together, and her parents are always like, "Oh, do do you need us to send you some money? Like, your brother and his wife are thinking of buying a house in a nice part of town. And it's like, what if you settled down? And she's like, yeah, I guess I should marry for money.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's also got the one last thing is it's got the 2 dialogue options thing where it like brings up a bunch of stats that will increase or decrease depending on which dialogue option you choose, and like sets the story on a different path. It's so me. It's so me,
fun.
but it's doing so many different things that I enjoy as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to this one. Highly recommend it. If you are a weirdo like me who likes demon-rich storytelling games, I guess.
So I had to really quickly look up that this game was still coming out super quick because triple topping aren't a thing anymore. They went bankrupt.
Oh.
What?
So I quickly...
What?
Yeah. Yeah. So I looked it up, Rebecca, though.
Yeah.
And there are plans to release the game. So that's why I didn't interrupt and stopped you.
Fair play.
But yeah, I loved their previous game, Welcome to Elk. Like, I love that game. And this game has such, like, the same kind of vibes. But yeah, the developer and publisher, Triple Topping, they announced bankruptcy last year. They still...
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so they are still actively gonna be developing the game. It's got a 2024 release window. I know it's like a year, but still, there's like something there. But yeah, if you want to support a game out of all the ones we talk about, this one would probably want to, prioritize, give that a wish list, do everything to help out. Because yeah, I'm not sure what quite happened. There's a statement on Twitter that you can read. I just quickly skim read it because I remembered something when you mentioned the game and I was like, oh, I thought something happened to them. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on with them, but
I mean, it's
hopefully
like
this game still...
It's actively in Next Fest and something called the Storytellers Festival that's running on Steam at the moment. So it seems like they're pretty actively submitting it to, which makes sense if you're having difficulty with funding.
It says at the end of their statement... For our games, Welcome to Elk, Inglet, and Dead Pets Unleashed, good plans are being made and will be shared when ready.
Yeah.
You can and should still wishlist Dead Pets. It would mean the world to the team and I.
Yeah.
And
damn,
it's
wow.
that sucks, but yeah, really good game. So yeah, absolutely give it a wish list. Get eyes on it if it sounds like your sort of thing, because it was for me the absolute standout of this Next Fest. So
yeah, it's got attitude, and I like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention because I'd never heard of that, and that looks incredible.
It's also got kind of like an unhinged energy about it, like
it really does.
Yeah, like main character Gordy is like not immediately likable, which I like about
exactly.
them.
I always like that in a character. Yeah.
And so you kind of root for them because they're kind of a fuck up, and I love that about them.
Yes, absolutely. I feel very seen, especially at the moment, in that it's just a walking disaster. But like I like that though. I prefer a character who is not just who is flawed. I like seeing the flaws first in a character. Yeah. That's always so fun.
I
and like also
completely agree.
Just being able to like mold how she reacts to situations as well. But there's always that undercurrent of like a very authored character who is like baseline. She has this personality no matter what you do. I think that's quite good fun. Yeah. Oh wow. What a year for this industry. But I wish them all the best.
I know. Ugh.
Yeah.
But yes.
I really do wish them all the best.
Indeed.
Damn.
Shall we move on to Rachel? After I just dangled the possibility of talking again in front of you, snatched it back.
Give it me. My next one is Harold Halibut. This game has been in development for, the developers say, a decade, and it's pretty obvious when you look at the screenshots. This game is entirely handmade. It's stop motion. It's a kind of a coming together of both stop motion and 3D effects, but essentially all the character models, all the items, all the sets, and all the details, like the stitching on jumpers and the like rusty pipes and I don't know, brushstrokes. Like it's all been like handmade. The craftsmanship on this game is really incredible. And yeah, this game is great. I hope it comes out this year. They say it will, but we take your time, slow bros, honestly. But at the same time, I'm excited for this game, and I do hope it comes out this year. So yeah, you play as Harold, a janitor on a spaceship, one that has left Earth after a crisis on Earth sends the last of humanity. We're kind of like, we gotta go. We gotta leave. So they leave. They crash land on a planet and they sink into the alien oceans of that planet, and they become stuck. So this kind of community of people who are like several generations from what Earth people are like. They're very strange and very odd, and I love games about strange communities and odd people. I literally just mentioned Welcome to Elk. This is very much like that. It's about these kind of oddballs who are like echoes of humans but not quite aliens. Like, it's really funny in the same way that Wes Anderson, this is not a read, Wes Anderson's characters are like not human. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not human.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're like cardboard cutouts of humans, and this is like the same
stilted,
vibe.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is the same, but it's very charming. And so, yeah, you play as the janitor, Harold, and he's a handyman. And the demo kind of is the introduction of the game. So you're like helping out people on the ship and getting to know the community and all their quirks and all their jobs and how this underwater like spaceship works and like the ins and outs of this community. And then suddenly they receive a signal from Earth. Guess what? Earth is okay. You guys should come back. And it's about this community who has never associated themselves with Earth, really. I mean, they kind of know that their ancestors were once there, but their whole life has been like on this planet, on this ship. And so it's kind of, do we go back or do we chill here? And yeah, this story kind of, there's lots of aliens in it as well. This isn't a spoiler, like the trailer and the screenshot shows that the aliens will at some point make an appearance. I don't know in what form. But yeah, it just seems like a very charming, like Aardman meets Wes Anderson combo, retro-futuristic story about what it means to find a home and to leave home. And yeah, it's very charming. I enjoyed it. And yeah, 2024. Let's go slow,
Nice.
bros. You can do it. I believe in you. It's been a long time, but also take your time.
So ambitious.
But also, I want to play this game.
Yeah.
How big did you say the demo was?
Oh, as in like 54 gigabytes?
54 gigabytes.
Yeah, this demo is a beast. Like, the game runs pretty well. The movement's a bit janky, but it's just the detail. I think it's these environments and the lumosity and like the lighting and how things look. It's just this demo is an absolute monster. So who knows how big the actual game's going to be. But yeah, this is by far the biggest demo I've ever downloaded for an hour of gameplay.
Wild.
Wow.
It's ridiculous, but worth it. It just might take you a hot minute to download it.
It looks so gorgeous, though.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
The
really
artistry is unreal. No wonder it's taken them this many years. Like, it's unbelievable. The details.
This is a very weird detail to be caught up on, but this screenshot with the cupcakes.
Oh yes,
yeah. I was
like
just looking at that.
the detail on that is
just want to eat
wild. Them. Oh, I know, right? They look delicious, but also like thinking about the effort to model everything in these scenes.
Yeah, these cupcakes are like smaller than your pinky nail. Like, that's how small of the details we're dealing with. Like, there's like
cool.
The buttons are just so detailed, and like the wooden floorboards, and yeah, you could just like stare at these environments and just find all these like delicious little details, and it's just really cool. Like, even the signs and the posters, you can see the brushstrokes. Like, it's so cool. It's very
beautiful.
Wow.
It's masterclass.
It's on
going on.
Added to the wish list. Added to the giant wish list.
I think I've had that on my wish list for a long time now. I can't. When did they announce it?
Oh,
was it 10 years ago?
Well, I covered it. So they started working on it 10 years ago. I think they announced it maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I think the first time I came across it was at PC Gamers, so that was, at least 4 years ago.
Damn.
So they announced it. I don't think they've ever announced a release date. Fair play to them. Like, maybe.
No.
But they have been working on this game for over a decade now.
Wow.
He said 10 years because I talked to the lead dev. He said 10 years when I spoke to him. So actually, it's probably a lot more. I have no idea. Maths. But also, yeah. It's you can see like the amount of work. It's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, visually alone, that is just stunning, obviously. Like, probably hear how impressed I am. But also, I love the idea of the story. I like stuff about Generation Starships and that sort of sci-fi narrative, but the very human side of it. That is going to be so good. And it's just got such a... very, very exciting.
Yeah. Harold as well as a character
is coming out.
It's just so funny. Like, he talks to himself and he makes these like awkward little jokes to himself.
He looks
he just looks so he
looks like he should be played by Adrian Brody in a Wes Anderson film. That's like...
Yes,
he does, you're right.
He does,
he has
absolutely.
Adrian Brody energy.
Wes Anderson could be looking at this being like, this needs to be an adaptation.
But he does stop motion movies too, right?
So like Isle of Dogs,
it is very Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
is
it? Fantastic Mr. Fox
yeah,
as well.
Is.
Yeah,
oh, of course. Yes. I also enjoy a Wes Anderson movie, so that's definitely...
How many things in this game did you want to eat?
Okay, oh my god, you're not
that's
gonna
a really
this.
good question.
You're not gonna believe this. There is a moment, I talk about this game a lot, but I'll be quick. There's a moment in the game where you find a bunch of shops, and one of the shops is Slippy's ski wear, which is very weird because there's no climate on this spaceship. So you're like, why has this guy got why is he selling ski wear? Like, there's so many moments like that. It's so odd. But he's so dedicated to the cause. He's like, are you too cold on this spaceship? Get some Slippy ski wear. And it's like, oh my god, now I need to get a full ski outfit. And he has a model, a test ski model in the corner, and there's snow on it. And I wanted to eat the snow. I wanted to crunch the snow. So yeah,
Good.
It looked like the fake snow that you get around Christmas time. It looked like that. It looked very tasty.
Do you want to eat the fake snow that you see at Christmas time?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, she's thinking about it.
The thing is, would you eat food off the ground?
Well, that's a good...
on someone's...
Okay.
Wait, what? What's that? What do you mean?
Like, you know, with the fake snow people put outside their houses and around their house. And I'm just saying that if it was out the packet, I probably would give it a little go. But if it was like around people's houses outside,
hold on. So your thing. What do you mean? All right, okay. So you draw the line. Not that it's a synthetic, manufactured, like plastic style material. It's that it's been on the ground.
I would think about it. I wouldn't do it. I would think about it though. That's what the question was, right? You'd think about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And maybe I would.
I'm so happy with the answer. I can't remember what the question was exactly, but
but they made it look really good in this. I definitely would give it a little nibble, maybe.
Noted. Okay.
When this comes out, we should do a group review. I know we keep saying this, but we should do a group review, and as part of that, we should have the 10 things in this game that you want to eat.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that'd be
Cupcakes would be number one, like Rebecca said. They look so good.
They do look
very
so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to citrus polo mints? I used to love those, by the way.
Yeah, what happened to those?
I still think about them a lot.
Didn't they used to do fruit ones as well?
Oh, the sticky ones? Yeah.
Yeah, the sticky ones.
Yeah,
they did like a sort of lemon lime
combined.
one that was still the chalky
They did.
one.
Because when I was in primary school and we were doing our the tests you do at the end, what are they called? Sats. We used to roll them across the table to each other when we were doing the tests. Roll them like across the table.
Just leaving a trail
in my
of
primary
goo
school
as they go along.
No, they were dry. The
these
dry
are
ones.
These are like the
these
same
are the chalky
consistency
ones.
as the mint ones.
Yeah. Did you never have these?
Are we not talking about the fruit ones? There was a third polo type.
Yeah. So there's the sticky
the
ones that you
ones.
saying, but then there's also, like Rebecca saying, the lemon lime ones, which were chalky, and you could roll them like a mint,
Citrus
like a normal
shot,
polo.
is that what they were called?
It was so good, and I miss them to this day, even though I've probably not had one in like 20 years at least.
Where did
maybe
they
25.
go?
Where did they go?
These? Oh my god. Where did they go?
You know what else has gone? This is total tangent onto childhood sweets, but you know what? I'm in the mood. They used to do like Lucozade sweets. I
remember them.
And you know, I live on Lucozade at the moment.
Oh yeah,
It's medicine, that's why.
Lucozade
really
ladies.
I really miss those little tablet sweets you used to, like the chalky sort of tablet style sweets that you used to get of Lucozade.
Oh,
They
Still
still
miss
sell
it.
them, apparently.
Do they?
What?
You can buy them off Amazon.
News
I have
in.
not seen them in literal decades.
Damn.
Were they sweets, or were they like what are those caffeine tablets that you take at uni?
They definitely weren't
Maybe
caffeine
that's
tablets.
not a universal experience.
I used to get them out of a vending machine at the leisure centre when I used to go swimming as a child, so I don't think they were like medicated.
My God.
But vending machine sweets after you've been swimming.
Yes!
Am I
Yes!
right?
Little
Like-
bag of Tutti Fruities when you've had your swim.
Oh.
Yes.
A ripple. a cheeky ripple. Or, oh my God,
Cheeky little
absolutely.
ripple.
When you're, you got your towel with your swimming cosy tucked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you stink of chlorine.
Yep.
Oh, just the best. I still can't eat dairy milk caramel. Well, I can now, but I couldn't for a long time because once I went swimming, I got a cheeky dairy milk caramel from the vending machine. Banging. Then I went home and played Mario Sunshine and then just threw up everywhere.
No!
You know how kids just sometimes throw up? And
Yeah.
I just spewed all over myself.
There's a
and
couple of
couldn't
foods
have-
you've eaten and you threw up and now you can't. That's another one.
Yeah.
That's two now.
Dairy milk caramel. Yeah, what was the other one?
Not a pizza, was it?
The
No.
stuff that's inside of... Oh, yeah, pizza's one as well. Did I tell that story on the podcast about when I took my girlfriend to Pizza Hut?
No, I think you've
It
told
had,
us
like-
a
I feel like
different story about
I don't
throwing
know.
up.
I
Feel
remember stories about you throwing up a lot. One included pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
definitely.
was when it was my ex-girlfriend's birthday, and I was like, "Don't worry, I'll take you out for your birthday." And then I ate like all of the Pizza Hut buffet and was just crying, dribbling outside of an Asda in the car park, just vomiting my guts up.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah, I used to throw up a lot.
There's definitely another food that you don't eat anymore because you threw up.
Yeah, I remember the story.
It's the inside of Crunchies.
That's the one.
That's the one.
There she is.
So the last game I want to talk about is a game called Balatro. I haven't written down the name. Come on, Liam. Right. 2
Let's
seconds.
go,
My apologies.
Indieventure crew. Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Oh,
Did you
God.
see that, chat? Clip that. Right. So this is Balatro by Local Thunk. This fucking game, all right? I need you to know is that this game, like, do you ever play a game and you're like, oh shit? It's like the first few minutes. It just immediately gets you, and you're like, what?
Ooh.
What? Someone made this? Someone was smart enough to think of this? Right. So, this is a poker roguelike. But I really need you to know that I do not know how to play poker. I have never played poker. I'm not one of those guys. Shock, right? Oh, yeah. The bisexual guy with the ADHD is not into, like, smoking cigars and playing poker with the boys. So, when I started playing this, it was like, this is very intimidating because the whole aim of the game is it's a deck building roguelike like all the other ones that exist, like Slay the Spire. But instead of having cards that are attacks, you've got to make poker hands using a 52 deck of standard cards. Now, you're not playing against someone directly. You're doing blinds, I think they're called, where you've got to get a certain number of points to get through them within a certain number of hands. So you get points by playing poker hands. So 3 of a kind, 2 pairs, royal flush, and each of these has a certain chip reward and a certain multiplier. So you've got to try and reach, let's say, 500 chips to get through one blind, and then you move on to the next one. There's then boss blinds, which have different modifiers. Like, this type of card is null, so if you play spades, you don't get any points for them. And then it throws in, like, a bunch of, like, weird, cool things. So there's these joker cards that have weird effects. Every time you play a hand, it multiplies by a random number between 2 and 50. Or if you play 2 pairs, you get 8 times of a multiplayer modifier. So it just keeps you constantly thinking about how you're playing these hands and trying to get this chip count up and up. And you also get these like tarot cards that level up your hand types, and
Ooh.
it's like presented so nice and weird. It has like this trippy, dreamlike music in this like lava lamp style background, and it just has this really engaging sense of fun to it. And what I absolutely love about it is that they've taken one of the oldest like card games in human history, citation fucking needed on that statement, and also like these modern roguelike card deck building principles, and they've just married them together in a way where you're like, what? No one ever thought about doing this before? It's so good. And within about 5 minutes, it has a really good tutorial where on the side of the screen you can look at what hands are at any time. So if you look at your deck of cards, you just click a button and you're like, right, okay, what can I do? Okay, 5 of a sweet suit. Card boy here. I know cards so well. It's a sweet, isn't it? What's the red one? It lets you look at that, lets you, pick at them. Look, just shut up. Play this game. It's really good. I fucking love Balatro. I'm Balatro pilled. I'm going to lose a lot of my life to this game. I keep doing this with my hands. I'm like pleading, please, please.
Please. Yeah, it looks so fun. It looks so good.
It's so good.
That cheeky little Joker.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're going to come out of this actually knowing how to play poker.
No, I won't at all. I'll be like, oh, where's the Joker card? Because it'd be, times 8 points. Oh, it's so good, gang. Like, I think this will be the game that most people will talk about from this next fest, because it's super quick to get into.
Cool.
It's really, really, really addictive. And it's out in like 2 weeks. It's
nice.
Just on the cusp of release, and I had not heard of it before this. Yeah, Balatro.
It's got like the
rules.
card shark vibes where you're trying to like kind of cheat and play illegally, and it's a bit cheeky like that.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, That's a really good point.
And who doesn't love to be a bit cheeky and to get away with something,
Yeah. Yeah, and it kind of has that like you're playing it wrong, but it's encouraging you to break it even further.
Oh,
which is
I love that.
It's like the best part of like Slay the Spire, right? It's like trying to find the messiest, like most OP strats, but you're playing poker. So it's really good.
Nice.
Love that. Love it. Wish listed.
Right?
Immediately.
Honestly, poker video games underrated, in my opinion. Do you ever play Poker Night at the Inventory? That was my jam for a while.
I played both, Rebecca, and I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing.
I actually knew how to play poker for a while because I played so much of those games, but then I forgot.
Yeah.
So
my best friend Ellen McLean did the voice of GLaDOS in one of those, I think. Yeah.
She's the dealer in the second one, isn't she?
Bestie?
Oh, is she the dealer?
I think she's the dealer. I can't remember. I think she's the dealer.
Remember.
It has been such a lot. They was literally the first games I ever played on Steam, I think. Like I got my Steam account to I got a Humble Bundle and a Steam account and ended up playing those.
Weren't they Telltale games?
Yes, they were. I got a Telltale bundle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, throwback. Yes. But I actually think, despite the presentation, that took poker fairly seriously. So I like the idea that we're now doing like twisted takes on poker.
Yes.
So yeah, actually, you know what? I had a fun idea. So there were ridiculously 4 other demos that I played that I kind of want to talk about. So what I want to do is I'm going to give you really high level, like 1-sentence summaries of all of them, and then like you guys tell me what you want to hear more about for the remainder of the. Like,
that's a good one. Okay.
It seems like fun, and actually what it is it's me just like completely delegating responsibility in a way that seems like I'm being really quirky and fairly generous, but yeah, it's just me
You've made
being...
an activity, and Rachel and I are immediately on board.
I know, we're just like, yay!
Yeah, I want to say the name of something.
It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a poll. It's not because I'm really indecisive and messy at the moment. It's fun. It's a game we can all play together. Anyway,
even at home, shout it out loud.
So yeah, with the caveat that I really recommend all of these. I had a lot of fun with all of them. The other 4 games that I wanted to talk about, Roman Sands Rebuild, which is kind of like Paradise Killer meets Deathloop.
We can't just drop that on me.
I feel like we might already have a winner, but I'm gonna keep going. I knew that was going to be it. I don't know why. I just want to say the others. Let me say the others.
What the fuck is this game? What?
Wait, I haven't looked it up. What was it called again?
Roman Sands
Roman
Rebuild.
Sands Reborn. There's
Rebuild.
a colon in between re and build. Rebuild. Fuck. This looks so good. What are the other ones?
The other ones are Touchstarved, which is a horror dating sim with hot anime boys, but genuinely it's like a really horrific story, and it is like very story heavy and more horror than dating sim. But it just so happens that in this horror story, all of your friends are hot anime boys you can romance. It's pretty cool.
I've heard of this.
There is Copycat. I noticed you had it wishlisted, actually. I did clock that. Copycat, which is kind of like a cute sort of like, we've all seen like Stray and Little Kitty Big City. It's kind of that, but it's got like What Remains of Edith Finch vibes as well, which is quite nice. And then Summerhouse, and I will just say that Summerhouse is to I saw you got this one wishlist as well. To me, Summerhouse is to like House Flipper 2 as Tiny Life is to The Sims 4. It's got that kind of like very lo-fi pixel art like approach to something.
Nice.
Very good.
Those are the other four I played, all very, very good. I feel like I know which one you want me to talk about. I knew from the start. I just didn't want to take the responsibility for making the choice.
Should we count down and say it together at the same time, Rachel? If you count us down, Rebecca.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Roman Sands Rebuild!
Yes!
Oh my god, Roman Sands Rebuild. Okay, so yeah. This is one that I didn't get to dig into the demo as much as I really wanted to, just because like time constraints. Like I say, I came quite late, not been feeling very well. It is frantic. It drops you into certainly the demo. I don't know if the full game will do this. It drops you in with very little context. But what is happening is that you find yourself at what is essentially a beach resort at the end of the world. And if you know why you're there, I did not find out in this demo, but you are encountering all these other guests at the resort who are like, don't seem to really be quite on the same level. They're like very concerned with like, you know, rich people problems at a fancy resort, but like your character's going around like, I don't know why I'm here. The sun's exploding. We seem to be caught in a time loop. What is going on, you guys? Time loop. I know, I should have saved this one, but yeah, I was so excited when I saw it. It's got very, I'm saying Paradise Killer because it's got the kind of like sort of first person exploration around this tropical island kind of vibes. Every time you move to a different location in the resort, time moves on by another like section. So the reason I say Deathloop is because it's got morning, noon, afternoon, and evening, and you're kind of cycling around this. And the idea is to like solve the puzzle of how to deal with everything that you need to deal with in the day before you're like looped back to the start. And so you're uncovering more details and secrets of things that are left in the resort. Like, for example, you'll start on the beach, you find a handbag by a sun lounger, and you examine it, and your character's like, oh, I don't want to just dig through some random stranger's handbag. You'll go into the lobby, and a woman there will be like, I left my pills in my handbag, I really need them. But obviously going back outside then will cause time to move on some more. And you'll run out of time. But the next day, when you go back into the loop, you know that she'll want them, so you can pick them up. And it's that sort of like problem solving, but it's absolutely frantic. Like, there's sections you can kind of clip onto so that you run at greater speed through the resort. There's like things popping everywhere with like bright colours to be like level up. There are things you can't do until you have a certain amount of XP. You get a very high, weird, specific amount of XP for every like task you complete for these people. It is so hard to like encapsulate, because I feel like after 45 minutes or so with the demo, I don't really have any idea what's going on, but it is very, very my aesthetic, and that it's just this sort of like tropical mystery, end of the world, time loop, weird characters, frantic things going on. So good. I'm excited to see where this goes. This was another one actually that I had on my wish list prior to this next fest, and that I can't remember how I came to know about it or when I wish listed it. But again, having played the demo now, I am like well on board. Oh, that was another thing. It's being developed by Arbitrary Metric, who made Paratopic, which is quite a well-known indie horror game from a few years ago, and published by Serenity Forge, who do a bunch of cool stuff. Like what's it? Lifeless Planet.
Oh my god!
I can't. I feel
baffled.
I mean, I was already feeling feral, but fuck, it looks so good.
It looks
so good, right?
Good.
I mean, it was very fun. I wish I got the chance to play more. I might go back and play more of the demo.
It's got vaporwave aesthetics and the characters look vaguely like Jamie Hewlett drawings.
Yeah, the animation is super cool and funky.
The Steam description is in all caps. Trapped in paradise after the end of time, adventure, gacha, puzzle, apocalypse, visual novel, simulation, horror trip. It's like, yeah, that's so me. Come on, let's.
Do you say gacha?
It's gacha in the sense that, like, okay, so I know this is my favourite point of comparison, but Rachel, bear me out on this. Danganronpa 2, there's like a gacha machine in the game, and it's on a tropical island. I feel like it's kind of drawing on that as well, because there's a gacha, but it's in-game, like, for, you know, points that you earn in the game or whatever, and you get, like, it's not like external, you pay real money gacha, it's like internal, you pay, you know, XP points gacha. But, like, clearly gacha is there because, like, the way that description is put together, it is to be, like, again, a deliberately frantic, like, keyword salad. And I love it, honestly.
Fuck's sake.
You've really outdone yourself, Rebecca. You really have. You really have. You've done it now.
I didn't know about this, because now I'm going to be thinking about it for the rest of the year.
Oh god, it's just like... Right, I know I'm in trouble because I've not played Paradise Killer yet, but it's very Paradise Killer looking from...
Oh yeah, you absolutely on the money with that.
You've got to play Paradise Killer.
Yeah, I know.
But the death loop thing is so cool, and it being like a time loop.
Just like grabbing the desk. No, this looks incredible. This looks. Oh, the other games you mentioned also sound amazing, but this one.
Yeah, this is very, very up there. I do think that, like, I still, for me, I think that I clicked more with Dead Pets Unleashed, like, immediately. But I feel like there's a lot to dig into with this one that I look forward to really getting into.
I feel like Dead Pets Unleashed feels like a U game, a very classic, like, Rebecca coded game. This feels like this is the Venn diagram of mine and Rachel's taste. In the middle of that is this game, I think. So
yes, this feels like this is like another 1000 times Resist, right? It's like we found the intersection of all of our interests, just very like
big Indieventure energy to this game.
Yes.
Just look at it. Look at the color palette. It's so us.
It's so Indieventure coded.
Indieventure coded.
Oh, what was?
I was like, is that the name of the book? Yeah, there's the adventure.
Oh no. Oh no.
Just checking my hand.
It's unraveled us. We are unraveled. We are slowly coming apart.
I was about to say, like, this is an audio only podcast. We could have it, like, written somewhere. It is written somewhere. It's the name of the Discord chat we're in. We can check it at any time.
Well, it wasn't the name of the Discord chat for about 6 episodes.
Oh yeah, it wasn't. It was something else.
That's true.
Updated now.
Oh my goodness.
It's updated now. Yep.
Well, okay. I'm really glad that we ended on that one then, because I feel like we've
me
sort of
too.
crescendoed with Roman Sans Rebuild. I wish I could remember where I picked up this recommendation, because like I say, the two games that I came out liking the most were the two that were already on my wish list, but I couldn't remember why, which I guess just goes to show that I know my own tastes pretty well. And
absolutely.
But still though, Touchstarved, how aesthetic is that? It's just hot demon boys. Like, what can you say?
I also
and that name
right? It's
Jesus Christ!
Instantly less weird.
Excuse me, grabbing my pearls.
Instantly less weird in context, but yeah, it's very
yes.
She can't hold hands with anyone because her hands are cursed, but she can hold hands with demon boys. It turns out.
Oh, of course.
Is that what it's about? I actually didn't know what it was about.
I know, right? I was expecting something a lot more risque, but yeah, it's literally about holding hands, which is quite cute.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Incredible. Oh God, I think
there.
Jesus Christ.
But also, at the start of the game, your hand gets ripped off and then sewn back on by like...
Excuse me?
Right? It's a lot going on. Gets a lot more resi.
I obviously just looked at the thumbnail and went, okay, and just wish listed it off.
Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah.
I literally was like, I saw one with cat ears, I was like, I had to wish list.
Yeah, I saw the horns and was like, fuck my life.
Someone's smoking in the trailer. Right, I need to get off that. No, come on now. This is a family podcast.
Everybody, this
not
is
a family podcast.
It's a family podcast in that I think my entire family are listening, and then I sometimes remember that my entire family are listening.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Good point. It's a Jones family podcast.
The Jones clan.
Sorry,
Shout
Dad.
Sorry, Dad. We're talking about Honey Pop again.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
What a good one to end on. Incredible.
Wowie zowie. That was quite the run. I feel like I can't remember anything we spoke about already.
The way the energy leapt up when you all saw this game.
I got genuinely excited.
I could
it
see
felt like
it.
it cured my hangover when I saw it. Yeah, it was incredible.
That is the sort of visually it's the sort of kill or cure for a hangover game, isn't it? Just you look at that and you'll either feel fine or it'll kill you instantly. Stone dead.
I feel like it depends on the severity of the hangover. I once had an awful hangover. I drank half a bottle of rum to myself and a couple of Astrays. I was young, and in the morning I couldn't stop throwing up. And I remember putting on Batman Arkham Knight, and I jumped off the top of a tower as Batman and dive bombed, and I just immediately just went
oh my god!
Oh no!
A lot of bodily fluid stories from me today. I'm very sorry, everyone.
Yeah, I was going to say, adding that to the...
I know, right? Yeah.
to the anthology of stories of you and your body liquids.
You know what'll happen, right, is I'm actually getting tritation for ADHD medication in 2 weeks. It'll be interesting to see if the audience can notice a difference when I medicate.
A side-by-side audio comparison.
Yeah. Goodness me.
Right.
Anyway, is that us done?
I think that's the next fest out of the way for another 4 months. But it's been a fun one in the end, because I know we all had the same sort of feeling that initially we weren't we struggled to find anything that we were having a lot of fun with. But I think we came out of it with some good stuff in the end. So,
good stuff there, definitely. Yeah, well done, gang. So
Absolutely.
before we move on, I just wanted to give a very quick shout out, because a few weeks ago I gave a bit of a call to action for you lovely lot to give us a couple of nice reviews on Apple Podcasts, and you lot came out in your dozens. And thank you so much. We've read every single review you've left. All of them are 5 stars. You did not need to do that. Thank you. I know I threatened you, but thank you.
It was so lovely to see.
There's
so nice.
so many to even mention, but honestly, thank you so much to everyone. We've now got 17 reviews on Apple Podcasts. 5 stars, and it has helped so much, and it really does warm my heart to know that you're listening and you're enjoying it. I just want to read out one because it got me so much, and I think it perfectly encapsulates the podcast. This is by Davy VO from Belgium.
Davy!
Hello to our Belgian listeners. They said, a fun and informative indie game podcast with great recommendations, 5 stars. Now, as the title and the rating goes, that's nice. And then the description says, also, it's hosted by 3 absolute gremlins who have insane levels of chaos and chemistry together. And it just properly cracked me up when I read that.
Oh, incredible.
I mean,
so thank you
Davey,
so much,
if you're
Davey.
listening, I hope it
Davey
is
babes.
everything that you have come to love about this.
Oh,
Absolute
episode.
icon.
just
Next
the
level
best.
gremlin energy just for you, Davey.
Yes.
Just for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And
much,
speaking
everybody.
of you, thank you everyone who came out. Honestly, you've done us an absolute solid there. It does really mean a lot. It's very humbling. Speaking of reaching out, though, in a couple of weeks' time, we're going to do a fresh format. We're going to be answering your questions. So if you have a question for us, indie game related preferably, but if you want to ask us something unhinged, I'm sure we'll enjoy that too. You can get in touch with us at contact@indieventurepodcast.co.uk. That's contact@indieventurepodcast.co.uk. So if you could chuck us your questions, that would be brilliant. You can also, I guess you can reply to our tweets. Maybe we'll do a tweet asking for questions close at the time as well, but email's going to be the best way of getting them to us. We want your questions. And that is the end of the admin section of this podcast. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much.
Honestly,
thank you.
make them quite unhinged. I would enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, a couple of unhinged ones would be good, actually.
Yeah,
Go
it would be really
on.
fun, wouldn't
Go
it? Yeah,
on.
go on.
Go on, you know you want to. Go on.
If you're like, I don't know whether I want to email, go on. I'm talking to you right
it.
now. Yeah, that unhinged thing you've got there. Be like Davey. Channel the gremlin energy.
Like, if it's too weird, we just won't answer it, so you don't have to worry. Like...
Yeah, we'll just block you from ever listening.
If it's too weird, I will assume good faith, but I will still not answer.
I love that energy. Yep.
That is so nice.
Okay, I feel like it is nearly 11 p.m. and it is hyperfixation time. I just wonder, like, how much is going to end up cut from this one that we are going to end up with, like, very wild timelines when we refer to the time, and it's just like there's been a massive skip over.
Yeah, but I love that when it happens. Like when someone's editing like a video and there's a clock in the background, I'm like, oh, how much time did it take them? Like, I love that shit. I love being a nosy little fuck.
Yeah.
A few of our earlier episodes of, I think it was the last podcast, we'd be like, oh my god, we've been recording for nearly 3 hours, and the podcast came in at like an hour 35. Like, wow, how much bullshit did we cut out of that one?
Oh my goodness, I can't even remember those days. What were we doing?
I don't even know what it was, yeah.
I
listened to the Eurovision one again recently.
Really? Oh my goodness.
I like
literally
that one.
Today.
That one's good.
I haven't listened to that one in a while. I think that's one of the ones that I listen to the least randomly, but I need to
I think it's because Eurovision rumblings are happening. I'm getting into the Eurovision rumbly. Rumblings are happening. Okay. So I'm like, I'll go back and listen to just like at first skip through some of the episode and then I listen to like 40 minutes of us chatting. I'm like, oh, this was supposed to be me just checking in, and now I'm
like I was going for a specific game recommendation, and now here I am an hour later listening to another episode. I just also like, I don't know about you guys, but there is on the Roman Sans Rebuild Steam page like a little looping GIF of the start of the level where it says about this game, and I've just been sat here watching it on loop. Like, it is actually my headache that I've had for the last 3 weeks is a lot better when I'm just watching it. I think Liam's onto something about it being the cure.
Which GIF? The one of them waking up from the water where it says go.
Or it says go, and then like you're following the arrows up to the hotel.
Oh, that sort of looks like what having a migraine feels like.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're
It's
okay
like
with
balancing it out. It's great.
I'm glad. Well, that's good.
I just watch this for the rest of the evening.
It has healed you, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. Anyway.
This game has healing properties. Confirmed.
Shall I start with hyperfixations? Because I had the specific thing that I wanted to kind of touch on here. Which is that, like, so this is it's kind of a weird one to talk about because it kind of came to my attention in like a in like a not very cool way, but like something cool came out of it. Which is an indie game that was recently released on Steam, itch, and GOG that I happened to find out about because I'm on some like queer gaming forums, and I saw that the developer behind this one had come on to ask for some help because, like, very unfortunately, their game was being like targeted by some very homophobic reviews, specifically on GOG.
Boo.
And that made me really sad and angry on behalf of this person. So I decided to go and check out the game, which is called, and I'm about to butcher some Japanese pronunciation, by the way. So I hope that like everyone needs to know that I have been doing Duolingo for Japanese every day for about 110, 115 days now. I've not missed one, even when I had COVID, even when I had a migraine. I've been like working so hard on my Japanese. I've no idea how to pronounce this word without butchering it. But anyway, side note. So the title is Omarisa next time. Omarisa next time, let's say. And it is a an interactive storybook about two husbands who very much bond over food. It is an incredibly foodie game. It will make you extremely hungry when you play it. But it is just it's a very, very gentle, like very calm, like the dev describes it as a storybook, and it really is just like you're clicking through a story. It kind of encourages you to interact with the environment for little achievements and stuff, but it's mainly just like a nice story about husbands and food, and it is cute and heartwarming and like completely inoffensive. And you know what? I try so hard not to focus on the negativity that queer creators can encounter sometimes online. So what I would like to say about this one, and like this is why it's my hyperfixation right now, right? Because I so wanted to like help this person and their game get some positive attention. The good thing to come out of this is a very, very small indie game that might not have been, particularly not badly received. It's got very positive reviews other than the trolling ones, but it's not huge. It's not going to get a lot of attention. But what I got out of this, what you can get out of this, and what hopefully this dev can get out of this is some people who would really like a cute queer love story about great food. Go check it out. It's really nice. It's really nice.
It looks adorable.
And
100% we'll try this out.
There's a demo.
I've enjoyed it.
Too.
It has a demo at the moment. It's not Next Fest because I think Next Fest is only for stuff that's pre-release, and this came out a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, genuinely very, very heartwarming. You'll get some good recipes as well,
Ooh.
which is always like. I was genuinely sat there playing it. I was like, I'm gonna have to go get a notebook or take a screenshot or something because I want to make some of this food.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love games that celebrate the joy of cooking and food, and especially how integral they can be to relationships as well. So
exactly right. I'm thinking like there were a lot of games out last year that kind of were on this. I almost said fed into the same theme. Why do I walk away from like a perfect pun when I find it? Fed into
so
the same
good.
Theme. There we go. So yeah, I like to think that here on Indieventure we try and do our bit for queer creators as queer creators ourselves.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I wouldn't just tell you to go and play any game. It's a good game. I've played it. I enjoyed it. It's got a cat in it. I've not finished it, but I'm gonna finish it because I want to find out when this cat comes into it because it's a very cute cat on the Steam page as well. So yeah, hopefully,
so cute, heartwarming.
Hopefully that hit the right kind of vibe with genuinely good game. Also, fuck people who are being jerks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, get over yourselves. Come on now.
Right. But yeah, that's me. That's me when I'm ill. I'm on a crusade. My hyperfixation is the crusade to do good to people with my platform and not to let people be exclusionary dickheads online.
Amen, sis.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought it here. Completely agree.
Anyway, anyone else want to chime in with their hyperfixation of the week?
I can go next.
Sure.
You don't seem enthused.
Well, because like my two real hyperfixations is Stardew Valley, which I'm becoming increasingly troublingly obsessed with. Nearly done year 2 now. Put it down after me dead granddad comes back or whatever. Playing a bit of Pal World, but let's not go into that here. So I want to talk very quickly about.
Wait, what's that alarm sound going off?
I'm tasered immediately. So I just want to talk very quickly about two things. One is a band that I've not rediscovered. They've always been on my regular rotation, but was listening to them this week. I want to talk about them. Is Let's Eat Grandma. I don't know whether you two have heard about them before.
It's a funny name.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
No comma
reference.
in there. So it's it was a project started by Jenny Hollingworth and Rosa Walton when they were like 14 or 15. They released the first album, I Gemini, when they were like teenagers.
Jeez, wow, cool.
And they've got 3 albums now, and just the sophistication of the music and the lyrics, I just absolutely love them. Like, and they're so good live as well. I first saw them live when they supported churches, maybe 2019, and Yoli and I went to see them when they were performing just themselves in Newcastle last year. Rosa Walton, one half of Let's Eat Grandma, became sort of like rocketed to more like wide appeal because they did a song for Cyberpunk that was featured very heavily in the anime. So when Cyberpunk,
I knew that I'd heard of them from somewhere.
Yeah, but their latest album, Two Ribbons, which came out I think 2 years ago, is just one of the most like finely crafted synthy pop albums of the last like 5 years. It's absolutely so good. Check out the track Levitation if you're interested, just to try them out, and then go back and discover their back catalogue. And I mean, 16 years old and releasing an album of the quality of the first one is absolutely incredible. I love that band. And the other one, very quickly, is the website Aftermath, a website I have bought a subscription for, which is no small feat. I don't often do that.
Ooh.
Aftermath it's a games website that was formed by a bunch of ex-Kotaku journalists. It is fully funded by their readers to the point where you can only read about 2 or 3 free articles a week. And I found myself hitting up against that barrier so often. I was like, oh, fuck it. It's £4 a month. I'll give it a try. And I'm so happy. Like, when I wake up now, I'm not going on TikTok. I'm reading a nice blog post by one of these very talented writers. Geeta
Jackson. I was going to say Geeta Jackson's one of the co-founders. Yeah. Or at least they work quite closely there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They are one of the co-founders. They wrote an article the other day that was called something like "I lived it. I was a daily video games blogger." That I think maybe the three of us and some other people might find very interesting. But it's a really good balanced website. And what I love about it as well is they're not SEO chasing, which is always very refreshing to read in games media. And they're also not afraid, like one person might do an article like about aforementioned Palworld. One of them did an article about Palworld being quite bad. And then the same day, another one wrote a counter article saying, it's not that deep. And I just really love how the site is able to be in conversation with itself. And I think that's really healthy. I think that's really interesting.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, Aftermath. I will give it a try. I'd recommend it. After you've finished reading everything on VG 24/7, obviously, and after you've sought out and read everything by freelancer Rachel Watts, then you can go read Aftermath.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
they're my habit fixations.
I definitely want to read that article. I'm going to look for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to send it to you now while you do yours.
Put it in the general.
I will.
Yes,
I'll pop
put it in the
in.
Discord. Cool. Yeah, my habit fixation is drag queen Juno Birch, who does YouTube content, and she is amazing, an icon. I thought you might know of her because of
she
her
does a lot of
Sims content.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm really into obviously drag queens and spoiler drag, and Juno was someone who I'd known from their performance stuff, but I didn't really follow them much on YouTube. That was a mistake. They are amazing. They are so funny. I've really been enjoying all their Sims 2, their Sims 3, their Sims 4 content that is unhinged. She's a Manchester queen, so we love a UK queen. And yeah, she's kind of like, her shtick is like she's like this alien drag queen, but also is kind of like 1940s, 50s housewife with like a big, huge blonde updo. But instead of like, it's kind of like also giving like like UK granny vibes as well, like with the like print, those old like orange like floral print sofas and like headscarves and ridiculous sunglasses. Yeah, she's just a great YouTube content creator. She made me reinstall The Sims 2 because that's like a big thing at the moment. Yeah, so I found
jealous. Love The Sims 2.
Yeah, well, like with The Sims 2, all the bundle is like available. Like every single expansion is available in a bundle online because I guess now people are calling it abandonware.
It's abandonware. It is,
right?
Yeah,
so I was like, cool, I'll totally download this. Like, and yeah, I've been really enjoying The Sims 2 and watching Juno like make the world's trashiest bakery known to sim kind, and just like getting to know all the characters and stuff that she has. Yeah, I've just been having a great time. She's so funny, and yeah, I've just binged her content. I live for her. I really want to go see one of her shows when she's next touring the UK. So yeah, Juno Birch on YouTube. What an icon.
Amazing.
She's amazing. Yeah. But yeah, I've been delving back into The Sims 2 as well. Wow, what a trip.
Honestly, like the best one. Let's
Yes, I'm having a great
you've said
time.
That before, haven't you?
I know that you prefer 3. I think like all preferences are valid, but like I'm strongly team 2.
Yeah,
I'm
I
also
played a lot
team
of
2.
Yeah, I played a hell of a lot of 2, so I do get the love for 2, definitely. Good game.
I'm glad because I do think with 2 it's like, is it one of those like you very much had to be there in the moment? I don't know, but it's like it is.
Could you not say that for all of them though?
Sorry,
could you not say that for all of them? Is it not a bit like Pokemon where everyone has their Sims?
I suppose I guess it probably is. I mean, like I've been playing since the start, and I think The Sims 2 is still like the See, the problem is there is a series called My Sims, so you can't just say it's like, oh, it's my Sims, 'cause it's not. It's my space. My space is the thing as well. God damn it. This is just impossible. This is what they do. They make it impossible to speak about our feelings.
They gotcha.
Yeah. What's that theory that Disney only called the film Frozen, so that when people search Disney Frozen, you wouldn't get any Walt Disney conspiracies?
We have to go into this right now, because I was literally talking about this earlier today in context of, you're going to love this. You know that the new Sonic game that they've just announced, or just
Sonic X Shadow.
Sonic X Shadow. And I have this theory that it's the same thing as the Disney Frozen, is that they're just trying to overwrite the internet.
100%.
Is that what the new game is called?
Sonic X Shadow something or other.
Come
I mean, like, who cares
on.
about what else is called? It's like, there's no way. So,
Come on, Sega.
Nick and I were talking about
Why
this
you
just
gotta be
before
like
I came
that?
upstairs to record.
Really?
And we were saying there's two things you can believe about this, right? There's that they genuinely didn't know that Sonic X Shadow is something that you don't want to Google necessarily. Or they did know, and they, for some reason, believe that they can, like, turn the narrative around. And friend of the podcast, Mick, made the very good point that it's almost more respectable if it's just stupidity. If it's just the simple kind of stupidity where they just were ignorant, rather than believed that they could change what this is now.
Sonic has acknowledged that side of the fandom, and I think it's in the Sonic Boom animated series.
Oh,
There's
that
one point
series
where
unhinged.
It's so
unhinged. I
unhinged.
must watch
Wild.
an unhinged Sonic series.
But
Just watch a compilation
bit-
of it. It's
I would-
wild.
Yeah. I'll try and find the clip where Sonic says, I'm paraphrasing this massively, but he says something along the lines of, oh yeah, this is a bit like all those weird pictures of me online.
Wow. Wow.
But yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he's been looking. If he knows they exist, he's been looking.
I know,
He's,
right?
Sonic's,
Yeah.
Sonic's the kind of dude to
Called out.
Google his own name, actually.
Yeah, don't Google your own name. If your name is Sonic the Hedgehog, there are going to be like a ton of people. Like Rebecca
There has
Jones,
been
you
a
can
bit of,
Google your own name, and it's fine.
I care about Sonic Generations getting a remaster. I don't like to admit it, but I care. I'm excited for it. I like the original. I want to see the Shadow bits. Also, because Shadow's going to be in Sonic 3, it means we get to see Maria get shot twice. Why do I know so much about Sonic? What's wrong
Who's
with me?
Maria?
What do you mean who's Maria? Maria is Shadow's
the
human love
woman
interest
that-
who
yeah.
dies from a space disease.
Oh,
or
that
something.
Maria
bitch.
Robotnik, daughter of Dr.
That
Robotnik.
Leave her in the ground.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
This is Maria we're talking about.
Maria's to you like Goofy is to me.
Oh, I don't like that because I think of Maria as a child.
Oh, see, I don't know shit about this girl. Is it a child? I don't know.
I think she is. I just can't
I never
remember.
read her as a
Sonic
child,
loves a
but I've
child?
not seen it much. Like, she's dating an adult hedgehog, so surely she's also an
Sonic?
adult.
Is Shadow an adult hedgehog?
Oh, it's
I
Shadow.
imagine so, yeah.
How old is Shadow
Oh,
the
fuck.
Hedgehog?
This is
How
going to be
old
worse.
19.
is Maria
I don't like that he's 19.
Sonic?
That's weirder.
That's weirdly specific.
Maria's 12.
Oh, God. Oh, that's just what? Hold on. Your 19-year-old, your 12-year-old human daughter is dating a 19-year-old like
Hedgehog
anthropomorphic
boy.
hedgehog.
I think we need to Chris Hansen Shadow the Hedgehog here. This is ridiculous. Called out.
Oh my God.
At least Sonic was into an age-appropriate human woman in Sonic 06.
Oh my
I
God.
thought Shadow was like a stone cold bastard. Like, what? Why does he have this? Who is this?
That's
who
why,
is this woman?
That's
Who
why
is
he's
this
a
girl?
stone cold bastard. Because Maria died. And now he walks around going Maria, and he shot that gun in that PS2 game that I used to quite like as a teenager.
I need to shut the fuck up about Shadow. I need to mind my business. I need to respect.
Right. Do you know what? Right? I know we talk about eventually like doing a Patreon or something, but one of the episodes we should do is just we talk about the Sonic lore for an hour.
Yes.
And that's
I
an
feel
episode
like
of
I'm
podcast.
love
severely
that as well.
lacking. I'm
Like,
so
people love that.
lacking.
I have
Do you
like
know-
got. That would be another example. We've talked about this format before, but we work so well when one of us knows a lot, one of us knows a little, and one of us is completely like fresh
Yeah.
to something. And like this could be a great
Absolutely.
opportunity for that.
I think
know
that would be
bits
just
and
that.
pieces.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so down. I know nothing. Apparently, I don't know
I
enough.
can't believe you don't know about Shadow's origin story. What
No.
a blessed life you lead. You'd be telling me you don't know that Knuckles is the last remaining echidna next. Why do I know so much?
Is he?
Yeah, he's
Why?
an angel
What
eye looking
happened?
after the Chaos Emeralds. Kill me. Someone take me out right now.
it's a school day. I'm learning a lot.
I didn't even have a Mega Drive. I was a SNES kid. Why do I know so much?
Oh my god! Now I'm just picturing like there's a sniper in position on the roof.
A little dot.
Take the shot. Take the shot. I actually bought Sonic Frontiers again the other day on PS5. Just ridiculous. Why?
Oh, wow.
Why did I do that?
Girl.
I love that game. I think it's really good.
Good. I want you to be happy.
Thank you. Two very different reactions. Concern and acceptance. I don't know.
Support.
Support. I like that. I didn't do the update. We could place the new characters. Can we end this cursed podcast already, please?
I mean, I'm stalling a little bit because I can't remember if we have an outro or not at the moment. Do we have an outro?
Yeah, we have an outro. Yeah,
Wait,
Cool.
but who's the Sonic character? That's the bat.
You mean Rouge? Rouge the Bat.
Rouge the Bat.
Is that who I mean? Yeah.
I guess so.
I see you, Rouge. I see you.
Whenever I see
Now we
Rouge,
can
I think
move
of that meme where it's like, I think Knuckles goes to the toilet and when he comes out, she's like, "Damn boy, were you frying chicken in there?"
Stop.
What? It's real loud.
Oh my god!
It's like there was a
Jesus.
meme of people in like America. I'm not going to go down that route. Let's just move on,
end
please.
it. I'm sorry I
Yeah.
asked.
All right.
End the podcast in general.
Right.
Rebecca, do it. Do it now.
Just picture there's like a big red button on my
the
desk,
button,
and
yeah.
I slam my hand down on it, and then the outro rolls.
Yay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much for putting up with this nonsense.
Fuck
Goodbye.
me. Bye. Indieventure is a podcast created, hosted, edited, and produced by Rebecca Jones, Rachel Watts, and me, Liam Richardson. For more information, search Indieventure Podcast on your social media platform of choice. You can get in touch by sending your questions, comments, and feedback to contact@indieventurepodcast.co.uk. You can support the show by rating us 5 stars and leaving a nice review on Apple Podcasts or your preferred podcast provider, or let your friends know all about the good times you had with the Indieventure Podcast. Some of the games we talk about on the show may have been provided to us for free for review consideration. If you are a developer, a publisher, or a PR looking to get in touch, drop us an email at hello@indieventurepodcast.co.uk. Our intro music and stings are from the song Cigarette Boat by Mark Torch. Thank you so much for listening, and see you again in 2 weeks for another episode of Indieventure, a video games podcast. Bye for now.